Kevin Gaines. Number 51, Anwar Jenkins. Number 33, Mike Comasa. Number 22, Quincy Maggot. Number 30, Kevin Martin. Number 52, Tyron Mitchell. Number 43, Sean Roby. Number 45, Kyle Sawatka. For our final act, Cardinals, coached by Mr. Dick Diener. Number 20, Jeff Behrens. 00, Ryan Blaine. Number 12, Jacob Brandow. Number 10, Corey Higgins. Number 24, Casey Jaco. Number 3, Andy Judkins. Number 25, Chris Koenigs. Number 34, Andy Moline. Number 32, Andy Rose. Number 5, Dan Schrum. Starters for tonight's game. Number 40, a senior, Chris Hansen. For the Cardinals, number 21, a senior, Derek Diener. For the Wildcats, number 15, a junior, James Tischke. For the Cardinals, a sophomore, number 13, Drew Diener. For Milwaukee Hamilton, a junior, number 34, Luke Huffman. For the Cardinals, a senior, number 33, Greg Fivey. For the Wildcats, number 41, a junior, Dante Jackson. For the Cardinals, a senior, number 44, Kyle Laced. For the Wildcats, number 10, a senior, Mike Winters. For the Cardinals, a senior, number 4, Mike Zimmerman. Officials for tonight's game, Gary Hanneman and Russ Alsberger.
They have the starting lineups for this evening's game, and about well, I'd say what, maybe a half a house on here tonight.
At best, really. I'm a little surprised about the crowd, but it's a non-conference game. It's a Tuesday night game.
Well, and also this is a game that is rescheduled, Mike.
Right.
And not an awful lot of pre-game publicity coming into this one. As a matter of fact, we had it all figured out that this one was going to be rescheduled last Tuesday because we were up at Springs doing Springs North Fondy, so this worked out just fine for us, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, we like it.
Cardinals 1-1 on the season.
Cards will be moving from left to right on your television screen here in the first half of action, and going in on the center jump is Luke Huffman, a 6'2 junior against Greg Fivey. Fivey with just an outstanding game last Friday night. Let's hope that he keeps it up. Kyle Laced comes out of there with the tap, give it right back to Fivey, running one-hander off the baseline. No, out of bounds, going to be off of one of the Wildcats and go back to the final act card.
Well, you like that. Fivey gets the tip and breaks out right away and was actually the lead man off the break-off. Not laying back, showing a lot of hustle right away initially for the Cards.
Derek Diener to do the honors, comes in here on a looping feed to Kyle Lace. They'll bring it out and load it up. Drew to Derek here to the right side sidewalk. Derek puts on the brakes, got it down low here now to Fivey. Spins inside, nice down low spin move by Greg Fivey, and he'll lay it down.
Yeah, does a great job with their feet right there, down low, able to get himself off the block on the near side and work for position. And he's going to have some size advantage tonight. He could work awful well in this game.
Dante Jackson on the left side sidewalk, got it in down low. Running one-hander here by Hischke would not go down. The Cardinals out there with the rebound. Up court they come to Mike Zimmerman. Zimmy left wide open, 15-foot on the baseline. No, Kyle Lace comes away with the rebound. Reloads out to Drew Diener. Now post up here to Kyle Lace. Comes down the lane, reach in foul. It's either on Dante Jackson or Mike Winters. It'll be on Winters. Winters will get his first personal foul. Had a nice talk, Mike, during the junior varsity game with head coach Jim Jones of the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. Of course, he's taken the Wildcats.
5-second violation.
5-second violation here on the Cards. That's what Jim Jones wants to see. He wants to see in-your-face defense. That's what he's looking for.
You know, I will compliment right off the start this bunch coming up from Milwaukee. Very well-disciplined bunch of kids. Took in the JV game, and you know, a lot of times you see some of these less disciplined crew come up here and they're running around. They're kind of crazy, and these guys are a nice bunch of kids.
Dish off feed here from Winters, but he threw it right into the hands of Greg Fivey. Drew Diener to the left side sidewalk. Gonna pull up there, 17-footers on the way, off the back of the rim. No, Fivey, Skies has, and undershot the hoop. and laced right back, and now he is fouled underneath by Luke Huffman. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Huffman with his first. That'll be the second team foul.
Cardinals doing an excellent job early on the boards again, not getting the shots to go. You see the outside shot by
Watch
Diener.
Fivey, they're pounding the boards, and then Kyle Laced
comes away with
a steal. So Kyle to the free throw line and off the mark. So Laced will get one more here on the 2-shot foul, and he gets this one.
Now he's going to wipe it away, Davey. Line violation.
We had a lane violation on the Cardinals.
Right. So take the point away. The score remains 2-0 in favor of Fond du Lac with 6:33 to go here in the first.
Mike Winters comes to Dante Jackson on the right side sidewalk. Looping feed to Hischke. Hischke coming off, tried to dish off high post and slapped into the hands of Dante Jackson. Running one-hander down the lane, no. Fivey with a rebound. Outlet pass comes to Derek Diener. Derek worked down here by Hischke. Here's Zimmerman out. Trey Land. Shot will not drop. And Huffman with the rebound. Outlet pass comes off to Chris Hansen. Hansen down to Winters on the baseline.
Stepped out of bounds.
Stepped on the baseline and out of bounds.
Third turnover of the game for the Wildcats. Thus far early in the game, on 2 occasions, they have left Zimmerman wide open off of the wing. Has missed both shots, but if he's that wide open, he's going to start burying those.
Jim Jones, and talking with him about their win over Appleton Xavier, he said, you know, I think they were a little bit down that night. And really felt that Xavier was a better ball club than what they showed the evening that Hamilton beat them.
Well, Xavier, fine club again this year. Just took it to the Ledgers last weekend. Matter of fact, early in that game, had the Ledgers down.
Another nice move here by Greg Five. He never had to put the ball on the floor. One step to the hole, and he dumps it in. It's 4-zip Fond du Lac.
Just to continue a thought on that, they had the Ledgers down early at 25-8. Ledgers came back late, but came away losers.
Hischke, downtown Freddie Brown job, would not drop. Rebound slapped around, and out comes Greg Fivey. Pull up here from the free throw line by Derek Diener. Shot it short. Mike Winters over the rebound. Looping feed down court. All alone is Dante Jackson. He'll lay it in.
Well, Jim Jones says he doesn't like to get out and do a lot of running. That he certainly liked. Good execution on the bust out by the Wildcats.
He said he'll take it if it's there, and it was there that time. He wants a good controlled pass.
Exactly. That's the real key is, you take what the defense will give you. If you can do it under control, you're in great shape.
And on the other hand, as Drew Diener pulls up a little 12-footer of the lane, knocked it down. I like to see that, Mike. I think Drew last Friday night was maybe a little overconscious about taking 3-pointers. And this time you saw him looking for something a little bit more inward this time. Derek Diener takes a rebound away from Luke Huffman. Derek quickly back into the forecourt. 6-2 basketball game. Here's Zimmerman. And the jump pass down low to Fivey. Turned to face the hole. Now going to take it to the hole. And he's fouled by Huffman.
Yeah, that's a great move by Fivey. Crossover step, got him up in the air and went underneath the defense. I'm just amazed. You see it a lot of athletes that, from like their sophomore to junior or junior to senior years, you see great strides of improvement. Fivey just looks like a different kid between the last couple of years. He is really impressive. He's doing things naturally. He's not thinking as much as I think he did in some of the other times he hit the floor.
Greg Fivey to the free throw line.
And
next on the first, we have a pair of substitutions down the basketball game. Sean Roby has come in for the Wildcats in Milwaukee Hamilton, and also Kyle Sorwatka is in the ball game.
As I mentioned about Fivey, much the same as I mentioned last week, that I think he is really matured because he doesn't have to see over the back of Joe Harmson right now. I think Joe, he was playing behind him for so long, and it was a tough situation for him to be in.
Up hole high, Dante Jackson. Jackson comes off to Mike Winters. Winters faked right, came back left, but Derek Diener right with him step for step. Jackson has the basketball on the exchange now. Give it back to Winters. Right back to Dante Jackson, the right side sidewalk. Popping up high now is Sean Roby. Here's Winters, spin around, and fall away 12-foot jumper there would knock it down. Rebound away to Dante Jackson, slapped out of his hands, out of bounds. Just saw a poster up in the stands, Mike, and we've got a number of things we wanted to talk about tonight, but that's one of them. I like the poster in the student section that has a big 5 and an E. 5E.
Oh, that,
okay.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Yes.
Yeah, nice poster. So here's Dante Jackson. Tries to spin down inside on Zimmerman, and they're going to call Zimmy with the foul. Yep. Mike Zimmerman will get the personal foul. Good job by Dante Jackson, kind of dipping the shoulder and stepping inside. He drew the foul. Outside, Mike Winters. And a rainbow jumper there would knock it out. Dante Jackson has the offensive board to put it back in. That's 8-4, Fond du Lac. Up off the pines into the basketball game for the Cardinals is Casey Jekyll. And someone else came in. Who else came into the ball game, Mike, before I... Okay, I'll pick it up here.
Good give and go inside
to Fyvie.
Yes, indeed.
Dan Schrum also up off the pines into the ball game. 10-4 score. Fyvie has 8 of the 10. And a steal in the backcourt. Fyvie out ahead to Derek Diener. Here's Mike Zimmerman off the baseline, taking the ball to the hole, slapped away and out of bounds. Whoa!
Up his, yeah, that's a good call.
Okay.
That was one of those deals where he had his leg up in the air.
I'll tell you, Dan Schrum didn't see it that way either because he laid away from the ball.
Well, he was on the backside. I don't think he would have seen it go off his leg.
No, he didn't see it go off his leg. I think he thought that it had been touched last by Hamilton55. Otherwise, he would have gone for it. Kevin Martin. Swing it back out. Here's Hischke. Comes off into the lane. Give go pass there. Slapped away by Jekyll.
Mitchell just didn't break off the give and go. He stood back and waited, and that's why the Cardinals were able to come with the ball. Didn't read the play.
Mike Zimmerman around to the left side sidewalk. Up high post they come to Casey Jekyll. Splits it back off once again to Zimmy out of the coffin gunner. Schrum to Derek Diener. Looks down low. Now pops off. Here's Fyvie at a backdoor feed. He's all alone. He'll lay it in.
Great assist by Diener. He sees the backside as Fyvie slides down low and is wide open.
Unbelievable, Mike. I think he had 10 points in the first quarter against Menashe. He's got it here again tonight. Double digits already. We still have 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Coming around to pick up high is Kyle Serwatka, and they give him an open lane to the hole, and he lays it in.
Third field goal of the game for the Wildcats. Trail it at 12-6.
Zimmerman to Derek Diener. He's played by Hischke. Cardinals would like to spread the court a little bit more here tonight. Zimmy off of the baseline and tried to come down to the low post, and Jekyll slapped away. And to quickly back up court with a running one-hander here is Kevin Martin. Overlaid the hoop, but the tap is in and down. Kyle Serwatka on his second straight bucket of the game.
And 4 straight now for the Wildcats. They're back to within 4, trailing at 12-8 with 1:25 to go.
Fyvie down low, spins back to the inside. 12 points for the big guy here in the first quarter of action.
Cardinals now connected on their last 4 field goal attempts, 5 of their last 6.
Dante Jackson, coffin quarter to the left side. Here's Hischke. Now they post up. And Martin comes back to the left side. Dante Jackson there with the rebound, put it back down.
Well, the Wildcats are getting an awful lot off the offensive glass. I'm sure that's something Dick Diener will talk about between periods. 3 times now they've scored off the offensive rebound.
Well, and all of them have been Dante Jackson, Mike. They just got to be well aware of where he is on the court. And right now, I don't think they are. And Derek Diener pulls up with a lean-in 12-footer there, would not go down. Rebound pulled away by Kyle Serwatka. Slapped away by Derek Diener out of bounds. And we're going to get a host of new players in the ball game again. Anwar Jenkins is into the basketball game. And Jim Jones using a host of people here early.
You made reference, Dave, earlier to the fact that Diener not throwing up the threes much as he did early in the last week's game. In the first quarter last week, Fond du Lac attempted 6 3-pointers, only 1 thus far tonight.
Serwatka coming to the lane, dish feed down low to Martin. Bucket went down, it'll count in a foul.
Hold on here.
I thought he gave me
He
this.
certainly looked that way, but before the shot.
Before the shot,
Yeah,
all right.
Boy, that would have been big-time continuation. Good call.
Well, they called it on Drew Diener, his second team foul. And on the common foul, Hamilton inbounding. The ball slapped away here by Dan Schrum out of bounds. It will go back once again to the Hamilton Wildcats. Anwar Jenkins down in the baseline will do the honors on the inbounds feed. And it's stolen away for the Fond du Lac Cards by Higgins. Corey Higgins on the steal, and then a foul in the backcourt.
Ball's going against
Sirwatka. First personal, the 4th team.
Jenkins at 5'11", senior, takes up some room down low. He's got a wide body. He's one of those 747s.
He's a tackle. And Drew Diener lost the handle on the basketball and out of bounds.
With 4 seconds to go here in the corner.
So now the Cardinals will put on some full-blown pressure, make Hamilton at least take the ball in the backcourt. Hischke here, half-court shot, no, and that'll be the end of the first quarter of action. And our score after 1 quarter of play from the Goodrich High School Gymnasium is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 14, Milwaukee Hamilton 10. Mike and I'll be back right after this.
Overall, 5 for 14, 36%. Cardinals are out-rebounded by Hamilton, slightly 8-6 margin. Fondy with 4 turnovers, and the Wildcats of Milwaukee Hamilton with 6 first-half TOs.
We got a kind of a nice letter down at Marcus Cable from a fan of ours by the name of Anonymous.
First time out, we'll get into that. How about that?
we get a chance here. We'll talk about that a little bit. It was kind of interesting about something that, Mike, you and I, or I guess I had made the comment, kind of off the cuff, and this was a follow-up to it. And a shot out here by Sirwatka would knock it out. Kyle Lace clears the boards. 14-10 basketball game as we start the second quarter of action. Derek Diener up hole high. Here's Zimmy around to the right side. Dante Jackson all over him. They look to get a double up on him. Now pop it back out once again to Derek Diener. Derek to Kyle. They'll be up high post. Here's Drew coming out hole high. He works now on Martin. Working down on Kevin Martin, running one-hander off the baseline by 5. Good foul!
Boy, is he confident going to the basket.
Wow.
Puts the ball on the hardwood and handles it extremely well.
And Kyle Sirwatka picks up his second personal foul, the 5th team, and Greg Fivey will go to the free throw line. 14 points for Fivey. 14 of the Cardinals' 16 right now. And Fivey knocks it down. Hi, Fivey.
15 of their 17
I may just have to go ahead and recycle that nickname anyway. We had the High Harps, and now we got the High Fivey actually is better.
Yes, I will go along with that.
Yeah. Looping feed out here. Dante Jackson. We'll have to borrow it.
Cardinals remain.
And right here.
Timeout.
Milwaukee Hamilton is going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here because we got this letter from a fan of ours by the name of Anonymous. And says, I'm a regular viewer of your high school sports cable casts and also a very avid Fondy Cardinal fan. Now, it talks about last Friday night during the Menasha game that I referred to the Goodrich Gymnasium as the Fondy Dome. And then I came back with the comment that we never did come up with a good name for this place, did we? So this has brought about some thoughts from Anonymous as to
what we're going to call this place.
What maybe we should call this place. And I got a kick out of some of these here. We had the card shack.
Some suggestions here.
These are suggestions that we would call instead of the Goodrich High School Gymnasium that we would. Now this would not be an official. Okay, we wouldn't officially retitle it this. This would be something that Mike and I'd use on the air. But we had the card shack, the bird house, the bird's nest, just the nest, the Diener Dome, the House of Cards, the Redbird Arena. I like that one.
The Redbird Arena.
But maybe my favorite one out here was the last one, the Aviary. Although I would probably get all tongue-tied up.
Yes, I know that would.
But whoever Anonymous is, and we're gonna, we might just do something about
this. I think this could create a little fun.
Maybe we'll ask for some more suggestions. Outside tray on the way here by Hischke is good.
Start a little.
Yeah, we'll start a little
poll here and see what everyone likes.
What everyone thinks. That
or if you have your own suggestion, you can send that in.
That we should nickname the place. And Mike Zimmerman lost it on the sidelines out of bounds.
5th turnover of the game for Fond du Lac here.
Dan Schrum back up off the pines will come back into the ball game. The 6'1" sophomore in here for Mike Zimmerman.
I kind of like the birdhouse too.
The birdhouse is nice. I like the Red Bird Arena. And the aviary, I think, is rather unique. Down low underneath, got the basketball to Anwar Jenkins. Hit the shot, but I think the foul's going to be before.
Absolutely.
Right? And called this on Greg Fivey. First personal on Greg. It's only the third team foul. So on the common foul again, the Wildcats will inbound the basketball. And working on the right side sidewalk here is, I thought you'd call it, it's Sean Roby. And
I think we're going to get Fivey with another foul here, and this basket's going to count.
Anwar Jenkins is going to get the bucket. And Fivey picks up 2 quick ones. And Greg is probably going to come out of the basketball game.
Jackal back in for Fivey.
Is it Jackal, Mike, or I heard him on the introductions call him Jackal.
Jackal? Okay, that could be. Guess we should officially check it out.
I guess we kind of should. Anwar Jenkins misses the one and only that he's going to get, and Kyle Lace goes up and grabs the rebound. Well, he's going to have to come up big now for the Fond du Lac Cards.
Well, along with Lace, look for Lace to
That's what I'm talking about is Kyle Lace.
To go work that low post a little bit more.
Coming around to pick out high. Drew Diener with a running one-hander. It's good.
Well, Drew Diener has really taken this team early in the season by control. He has really done an outstanding job. Offensive
foul, Dante Jackson. Jackson with his first personal, the 6th team. And on the next one, the Cardinals will shoot the bonus. Oddly enough, Mike, just looking around across the way, maybe we have a lot of Packer fans out of or maybe everyone up there didn't realize that Hamilton's colors were green and gold as well. Outside shot here by Dan Schrum will not go down. Kyle Lace with the rebound, they reload. Here's Drew Diener taking the ball to the hole, running one-hander, offensive foul, Drew Diener. Second personal on him, 15. But there's a lot of green in the audience today. When you look around, there's more green than there is red.
Well, this is the green time of the year.
Is that what it's all about?
Yes.
In reference to the Packers or to Christmas?
Yes.
And ball tipped free, picked off the floor by Drew Diener. Here come the Cards back, pulls up, tray of the way, good foul!
Ball's going to go against Martin.
Kevin Martin will pick up the personal foul. And that also puts Hamilton over the limit, although Drew Diener just going to shoot one here. And he missed the front end.
Oh, Lace climbs and takes it away. Good job by Lace. Give me a jump ball. No, jump ball they're going to call. So they'll rotate the arrow. I think it will go back to the Cardinals.
So on the possession, the Cardinals will retain possession.
Kyle does a nice job of getting up there. Wasn't in the best of positions on the number 2 spot off the lane, but able to come away with the ball. Good hustle.
Now this is an interesting point in the basketball game, Mike, because really your 2 main scorers are off the court. Mike Zimmerman now takes the ball to the hole and he's fouled by Dante Jackson. Zimmerman coming back into the basketball game in place of Drew Diener, who had picked up his second personal foul. Here's Dante Jackson with his second.
But you still have an awful lot of leadership in by a pair of guys. You have Derek Diener, your point guard, who has really run this show in the first 3 games of the year, and you also have your senior leadership with Mike Zimmerman in there.
Very true. And I didn't mean when I said anything to take anything away, Mike, from either one of those, but meaning that, you know, indeed, we have pulled our 2 main scorers off of the floor.
Well, it's a good test for the Cardinals. I mean, they're going to have to.
That's why I say this is an interesting point in the ball game.
They're going to have to be able to play basketball from time to time without these guys.
Well, Zimmy got one and not the other. And another new player into the ball game now. And I hope I've got him here somewhere. I've got 2 21s. This has got to be Kevin Gaines. Kevin Gaines wearing number 20. Now Cardinals come back up with it. Derek Diener. Mike Zimmerman out hole high is Schrum. Post up by Jekyll. Couldn't get him the basketball. Derek pulls down to the baseline. Shot blocked by Gaines. And the rebound slapped off into the hands of Kevin Martin. Quickly up court, takes it down to the baseline. Give it out to Gaines. Now he looks to reload, and he does. Post up in the lane here by Huffman. Turn, hit the shot. They're back to within 6 again at 23-17.
Right, 4:15 left now in the first half. They're once again starting to cut the lead down ever so slightly.
Left side sidewalk. Derek Diener swing between the two rings now to Schrum. Up hole high is Mike Zimmerman. Kyle Lace. Kyle Lace coming into the high post. Leaves it back out for Derek. Tray the way. They're good by Derek.
Oh, that's an NBA tray. He was a good 3 feet behind the red line.
26-17 by 9, the Cardinals. And off of the baseline, Serwatka's shot blocked from behind. Rebound off to Casey Jekyll. Casey Jekyll. Outlet pass to Schrum. He's quickly back up into the forecourt. 3:35 to go, first half of action. And here is Derek Diener out between the two rings. Schrum, left side sidewalk, laced up high post, splits it down back door. Here's Derek Banko!
And Diener takes the left hand from behind the glass. You know, that's an excellent shot because that's the only way he's going to get the ball around to the basket because his body was behind the glass. He uses the left and lays it off. That's just an excellent play.
This kind of answer our question?
Yep.
About the scoring being out of there? You were right. Derek Diener with great leadership stepped up. Here's Serwatka running one-hander down the lane. No. Casey Jekyll, I believe, with the foul, the sophomore.
You know, I think we're seeing, Dave, an awful lot of leadership from Derek Diener in the fact that, you know, he steps up when he has to. You know, he's not looking to score a lot when you have your big guns in there. But that tells you an awful lot about that young man and his ability because he can just step it up when he really needs to help the team in other areas.
6th team foul, first personal there on Jekyll. Serwatka is going to go to the free throw line. Up off the pines as well here for the Cardinals is sophomore Andy Rose. And Casey Jekyll will come out.
I believe Rose's first appearance here on the home court this year.
On the home court, yeah, but he did not see any action against Menasha. Serwatka to the free throw line. He knocks down the first. And we'll get one more. 28-18 by 10 here, the Fond du Lac Cards. We will be back here on Friday night. Something a little different for you Friday night. Should be a good one between the wrestling match between the Fond du Lac Cardinals and the Galloping Ghosts of Kaukauna. The two, perennially the two top dogs in the Fox Valley Association. Rose comes off here to Derek Diener, splits it off the high post down to Zimmerman off the baseline, and he hit the 17-footer.
Nice job with ball rotation. They finally get it down into the low post. They bring it into the paint, then kick it out to Zim on the left side wing for the wide open 15-footer.
And Zimmy with his first bucket of the game. Here's Winters, out hole high. Down around to the right side is Chris Hansen. Hansen now going to yo-yo the dribble and bring it back out once again. He's played by Kyle Lace. Drives Lace down to the baseline. He's cut off there with a running one-hander. No, and they call a wipe-away foul here apparently on Kyle Lace.
I was going to say the body down low, kind of on the hip.
And that will as well put the Cardinals over the limit. I think this they may have called this a shooting foul anyway. Yep.
Cardinals red hot here in the second quarter, 6 for 8 from the field.
And they've done it primarily with their two big guns on the pines. Fivey picked up 2 quick personal fouls, as did Drew Diener.
Yeah, I think you see the Cardinals in the second quarter here being, without those guys in there, a little more disciplined on offense. They're very patient. They're making each and every shot count, running a little bit more rotation on the offense.
Derek Diener, Mike Zimmerman. Zimmy fakes left, comes back to the right, had the ball slapped out of his hands by Serwatka and out of bounds. And talking to himself as he comes back, I don't think he was real happy. Now, I don't mean about the no call or something like that. Here's Derek Diener, 17 clears, God, off the left side. Derek Diener has really responded since his brother and Fivey went out of the basketball game. He's got 7. And a running one-hander here by Mike Winters. No, Serwatka with a rebound. Good. Foul underneath is going to be on Rose.
You know, interesting how I think this is the 4th occasion now you saw Hamilton take what I would call a very low percentage shot, kind of a little bit out of control to the basket. but the weak side, each and every time, Hamilton has been there to pick up that loose change and put it back for the 2.
So to the free throw line goes Serwatka. And he connects on the free throw, and they're right back to within 8 again at 32-24. 1:39 remaining, first half of action. Derek Diener pulls up, free throw line, jump pass over here to Dan Schrum. 17-footer there would knock it down. Serwatka with the rebound. Outlet pass comes to Mike Winters. Winters quickly into the forecourt, right back Serwatka, trying away there, lean in. Rose picks up another one. And this one is probably going to be a 3-shot foul, isn't it?
No, I think he was on the line. Should be 2. That was an experienced shot or foul there.
Gonna call it a bonus.
Bonus. They're gonna call it after. Yeah, that's, you know, in retrospect, that probably is a good shot. You see Andy Rose right there. The shot, it points out about what I was gonna say. Not a good foul right there because it was at that distance and way after the shot.
So Serwatka will go to the free throw line with a 1+1. Well, he can draw him right back to within 6 here again. And this particular group had performed pretty well until we got to about the 2-minute mark of the half. And now kind of let him, Hamilton that is, sneak back in here again. Serwatka knocks down a pair. And Serwatka now will come out of the basketball game as Sean Roby is in, the junior. And also, up off the Pines comes the left tackle, Anwar Jenkins. Senior, 5'11". And yes, he takes up some space, but he can play the game. Pressure applied here in the backcourt now by Hamilton. 1:20 remaining. First half of action. Schrum across the timeline, leaving for Laced on the exchange, out hole high, out of the right side. Here's Derek Diener. Here's Schrum coming off a pick from Zimmy, pulls up 14-footer, no, rebound, down and around to Chris Hansen for Milwaukee Hamilton. Quickly up court, Anwar Jenkins has the rebound, missed the shot, rebound away to Sean Roby, lost it on the baseline out of bounds. Who's it going back to? Hamilton. Slapped away by Derek Diener on the baseline.
Hamilton continues to be very active on the offensive glass.
Well, they're hanging right there, Mike. Trailing it by 6 at 32-26. We'd put them down by 1:11. Ready to bust it open, and then just stuck right back in again. Hischke, high corner right side. They're going to spread out the floor now. They're going to look for one shot here already with 45 seconds in the half. Here's Mike Winters, high corner left side.
Well, they're certainly being very deliberate. I'd be surprised if they look for one with this much time to go.
Well, they went to a four-corner. They're really spreading the floor. They went basically to a four-corner. Hischke, 27 seconds.
Yeah, at this point, I'm sure they are. Yep.
Hischke gets a pick there from Roby. Didn't really use it well. Now comes cross court to Chris Hansen, to Hischke. Left side, Jenkins. Hischke down to 12 seconds. Maybe he didn't want to use it before. Let's put it that way. Chris Hansen, Winters. Clock now down to 7. Now they got to go. Got it down to Hischke off the baseline. Leans in on Thurman, offensive foul.
Good job defensively by the Cardinals. They had a double team on him right there on the baseline, and the Wildcats pretty much had to force the issue at that point as the clock was starting to run down to 3 seconds now for Fond du Lac to get one last look at it.
Jim Jones not happy with Hischke after they had worked some 50 seconds off of the clock. Did not at all like the last second shot that they got there. And a three-quarter court here by Derek Diener. No, and that'll be the end of the first half of action. And our score at halftime is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 32 and Milwaukee Hamilton 26. Mike and I will be back right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball report.
It was great. See a movie?
As always, by the Goodrich Pom-Pom Squad. first half of action. Fond du Lac Cardinals in the first half, 13 for 24 for 54%. Hamilton 9 for 24 to 38% in the first half of action. Fond du Lac 4 for 8 free throw wise for an even 50%. Hamilton doing a great job on the free throws. They were 7 for 8 for 88%. Rebounds, Hamilton with a slight edge at 15 to 11. And turnover is not a real big factor. In Hamilton with 9 turnovers and the Fond du Lac Cardinals with 6.
Well, I think the one thing that you had to look at, and when we see the Cardinals come out and start warming up here again, Mike, in the second half of action, we see them working on boxing out and going right back to some basics. And obviously, Dick Diener not happy with the rebound situation in that first half.
Well, I think that was the real key, Dave, as far as the Wildcats of Milwaukee Hamilton were really able to stay in this basketball game off the offensive glass. As I mentioned at one time, they had, as I counted then, 4 baskets that where players kind of came in wild to the glass, threw up an errant shot, but they were able on the weak side to grab that ball off the glass and return it up for conversions, and that's, 4 times, that's 8 points. And that's really the difference in this game, to keep them close enough to be in striking distance.
We also managed to get ourselves into some minor foul difficulty. I thought that for the bulk of the second quarter that the Cards handled themselves very well, but we did let Hamilton sneak back into the basketball game here to get to within 6. Right at the last 2 minutes of the quarter, we did not play well.
Not real well, no, we didn't, Dave, probably, but at the same time, I was pretty impressed through the most of that quarter, how we played with, as we called, our 2 big guns on the bench. Some of the other guys picked up the slack right then. Diener really, at that point guard spot, took control of the basketball game and started dishing out some assists, as well as looking to score himself a little bit more. We're about ready here to head into the second half of action, as Milwaukee Hamilton will inbound the ball, going left to right on your television screen, the second half of action. Take it down to the baseline, pull up, 6-footer off the front of the rim, no good. Cardinals coming away with the rebound. Pushing the ball up board, Diener to 5e, left side coffin corner. Swing across court, skip pass across. And it's Lace with the putback, good. Kyle Lace with the 2 points. Cardinals now take a 34-26 lead with 7:18 to go here in the third quarter of action.
Here I thought I really blew it. I thought I left my score sheet down the van. It was sitting up here on the rail. Oh my. Left side sidewalk. Here's Hiskey with a tray, and it's gone. His second 3-pointer of the basketball game. They're within 5. 7 minutes to go, third quarter of action, and Derek Diener will work it back up. Walks it up through the Cyclops. Lace pops up to the high post. They swing off to the left side to Drew Diener. Here's Derek on the swing between the 2 rings. Now out ahead of the key. Air ball there by I-5E. And they leave it in the backcourt for Hiskey, and he'll bring it back up once again.
Well, 5e maybe just slightly out of his range right there.
Yeah, but he can hit that shot.
He can hit it.
And Huffman now will lean in over 5e. 5e taps out into the hands of Drew Diener. They'll leave it back for Derek. Derek Diener, tray on the way here. Off the front of the rim, no. 5e with a rebound, fouled from behind by Huffman.
First half of action, the Cardinals were 2 for 3 from 3-point range. Meanwhile, the Wildcats of Milwaukee Hamilton were only 1 for 4.
Huffman with his third personal, first team in the second half, and Greg 5e will go to the free throw line. I'll tell you one other thing that I'm sure Dick wasn't real super pleased with in the first half of action. They went to the line 8 times, Mike, and only hit on 4 of them.
Yep, I think you jinxed him, talking about that water thing.
And Greg, who on this trip to the line was 3 for 3, misses his first of the night. Fivey missed a pair. Let's hope that doesn't start working on his confidence. And Hiskey running one-hander right down the lane. No, Zimmerman had the rebound taken away by Dante Jackson, and then Zimmy with his second personal foul.
Well, this is one of those games where the Wildcats of Milwaukee Hamilton just kind of hanging around right there, trail this game by only 5 points at this point.
And the Cardinals here early in the quarter, I think playing just a little bit frustrated. Huffman, turn around off of the baseline, fall away shot over 5, and he hit it.
And they're back to within 3 with 6 minutes to go in the third.
Now you're letting them think that they can play with you, aren't you? Try on the way here from Drew Diener. No. Zimmerman tried to tap. Rebound out to Serwatka. Outlet pass Jenkins. Down court Winters. Running one-hander. No. Jackson with a rebound. Can't hit the shot. Serwatka bangs it off the glass and back in.
Well,
and they're within 1.
And you gave them 3 opportunities there. That's the offensive glass that we talked about. Back and now they are in a 1-2-2 zone.
Derek Diener. Back up court. Right side, here's Kyle Lace, skip pass back outside to Derek. To Drew, looks inside the 5-y. Trying to double up on him.
Oh,
now
yep.
Drew Diener with a tray shot, no, and Drew will go to the line and shoot 3. I believe it's on Huffman. If it is, he's picked up his 4th.
Yeah, he should get 3 for this also.
No.
They're going to call this after, apparently. That's the only thing possible.
Or before.
No, it can't be before. It's got to be after.
Well, that is the 4th personal foul on Huffman.
Yeah, they're calling it after, so no shooting foul.
Wow.
That's... So you have to count it as a field goal attempt. That goes for naught.
So here's Drew again. This time going to take the tray and hit it.
Yep, load it up the second time around and nail it.
10th point of the basketball game there for Drew Diener. 37-33 by for the Cardinals. Post up to Dante Jackson. Splits it off to Mike Winters. Out hole high again to Jackson. Here's Hischke. He's played by Drew Diener. Serwatka around the right side. Laced on him. Winters. Left side is Kevin Martin. Serwatka. Swinging around the horn again. Hischke. Trey good. Boy, he can knock him down. And again, they're back to within 1 as they answer the train. It's 37-36. Again against the zone defense. Drew Diener, try on the way here. Off the front of the rim, no. Rebound tapped by Lace in the hands of Drew, and the 10-footer is gone.
Well, Diener does a good job of following up the shot. When you take those long trays, you all have to make sure you foul up because you'll get a lot of long rebounds.
Hischke got away with a travel at the free throw line. Leave it back out for Winters. Gets a pick from Hischke. Doesn't use it. Now off the exchange. Hischke, tray on the way, airballed it. Out of bounds, back to the Cardinals. Friday night, as I said, high school wrestling. Fond du Lac and the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts. 10 o'clock with the review or replay of that one. And then Saturday night, we'll get another look at the Fond du Lac Cardinal Gals basketball team. Off to a great start. One of their better starts ever. They will take on the Appleton West Lady Terrors here at the Goodrich High Gymnasium. Boy, I tell you, Kimberly just really throttled. Who was it they played over the weekend? And a bad pass, stolen away, lead feed down to Winters, and Mike Winters will lay it in. His first bucket of the game. And Hamilton again back to within 1. Derek Diener. Dan Schrum is into the basketball game now. And Kyle Lace has come out. Zimmerman, ball slapped away. Simi goes back to get, loses the ball on the floor. They're going to call the reach-in foul on Kevin Martin. Kevin Martin with his second personal, second team foul. Boy, you got to be impressed with Hamilton, Mike. They really scrapping.
Well, they got quick hands.
Yep.
Very, very quick hands. Yeah, we saw Zimmerman a couple times in the first half going to the basket where he had balls as he took the ball up, batted out his hands. They're very, very active with the hands and very quick with them.
Chris Jekyll now, or Corey Jekyll, will come into the basketball game for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Casey Jekyll. Jeez, get it right on the third try, will you?
Must be a big family.
Yeah. And Drew Diener with a tray. No. Rebound away to Hischke. Hischke quickly up into the forecourt. They got a 3 on Hischke, going to take it to the hole. Reverse layup, no, but a foul out ahead of the shot. Might be on Dan Schrum.
Interesting, Dave. In the first half, the Cardinals took a total of 3 3-point shots. Here we've played 5 minutes only of the second half and already have attempted 5 of them. Now this is largely due, of course, to the fact that they have gone to a zone defense. With that, Dick Diener wants to talk it over.
Dick Diener will take a timeout. 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of action. Hamilton is right there on top of the Fond du Lac Cardinals. It's Fond du Lac 39, Milwaukee Hamilton 38. Back after this.
Extra channel to make it a lot easier to find something you like. Turn on HBO and you might find drama or comedy. While over on HBO 2, it could be horror or sports. So that's 2 channels, 2 options, whenever it's convenient for you. Now that's getting the most out of your HBO.
Right, real quickly here, pass along some information too from the youth basketball camps. Once again, they're coming right around beginning December 9th. Boys session.
That's this weekend.
Yep. Boys at Sabis Junior High or Waters, depending upon what school. Girls at the same schools, of course. Boys 8:45 to 10:15. The girls 10:30 to 12. Any questions? Call.
Other way around.
10:30 to 12.
Oh.
Boys and girls.
Did they change that?
Not from last week.
Running one-hander here. No, would not go down. Wow. You know, the slip that I have at home, as a matter of fact, the one that I turned in for my son has that exactly the opposite way around. It has the boys from 10:30 to noon, and the girls from 8:45 to 10:15.
Yep. I don't know that we'll try to get some.
And it always used to be that
way. Well, at any rate,
I hope it's that way. Otherwise, I'm going to have a problem because tape time starting at 10 o'clock. I don't know how I'm going to get them there.
Big questions. You can give Gordy Schneider a call at 923-1351. It's Gordy Schneider, 923-1351.
Drew Diener out there. Derek Diener outside with a tray, and he hit it. Derek with his second tray of the game. It's 42-38.
And those youth basketball camps are free. Not a better deal in town.
I believe if you want a Fond du Lac youth basketball camp
shirt,
or clinic shirt, those are like $5.
$5 for those. That's optional.
Yep. Yeah, that's optional. Don't have to have it. Running one-hander here by Kevin Martin. No. Derek Diener there to retrieve it. Here's Derek on the run. Fond du Lac quickly back up into the forecourt. Schrum, left side, cross-court skip pass comes to Drew Diener. 5 out of the corner. Again, they skip it out. Post up now to Jekyll. Jekyll trying to come down the lane. A reach-in foul going to be on Chris Hansen.
Cardinals with some good ball movement right now. Really working it out, kicking it in and kick it back out again. We've got the zone defense right now, really a little bit scattered for Hamilton.
Well, they called that foul on Jim Hiskey, and that will be Hamilton's 4th team foul. Common foul again, the Cards inbound.
And Hiskey comes out with that foul.
Left side, Drew Diener. Out of the coffin corner, Drew, Trey here, off the back of the rim, no. Rebound away to Kevin Martin, and here come the Hamilton Wildcats. And Jim Jones wants him to slow it up a little. Dante Jackson, he's played by Jekyll. Travel out there by Hansen, got away with it. Reload now to Roby. 5 all over him. Had the steal, now the ball loosed out of the baseline, picked off the floor, and reloaded out to Chris Hansen.
At Hamilton getting a little scattered there, and now they're just going to reset the offense. You know, you see some discipline in this team. That's what Coach Jim Jones said he wanted, and they certainly have shown quite a bit of that.
And without their normal point guard in there, that was the backup point guard, Mike, Kevin Gaines, I believe, who brought it back out and said, let's reset. Right, good job. Chris Hansen. Comes to Martin. They're going to look for one here, I think.
Cardinal defense has been very good.
No, they're not. They got it down here to Dante Jackson, and Jekyll with the foul. Second personal on Jekyll. That'll be the 3rd team foul. Common foul once again, called it out ahead of the shot. And back up off the Pines, Kyle Serwatka. As Kevin Martin will come up. So swing it out around the horn. Running one-hander by Chris Hansen. And who'd they get?
Casey once again.
Jekyll?
Yep.
Casey Jekyll picks up a pair of quick ones. That's his 3rd. He'll come out. Kyle Lace will come back in. I'll tell you, Mike, Milwaukee Hamilton can kind of remind you a little bit, off of the free throw line goes Chris Hansen, of a few of the St. Mary Springs Ledger basketball teams that didn't always look the greatest offensively. We called them blue-collar teams.
They just kind of hung around.
They kind of remind you of that, don't you?
Yep.
They work extremely hard. And they're right there on top of the Cardinals at 42-40. Kyle Lace flashing through, baseline, Drew Diener, reverse layup. No, they got a chance to tie it. And they will probably have the last shot, and Jim Jones up off the Pines asking for one shot. Gaines between the two rings. They bring Dante Jackson up high corner left side. Serwatka to Jackson. Serwatka again. Clock is to 13. And Jackson, and the ball slapped free, retains it, spin move down low, got it to Chris Hansen, running one-handed, good, they tied the game. With 2 seconds, half-court shot by Drew Diener, or Derek Diener, no, and that'll be the end of the third quarter of action. And our score after 3 is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 42, Milwaukee Hamilton 42. Back with the final 8 after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball report.
Hamilton with the edge on the boards at 7-6. Fond du Lac with 2 turnovers, and the Wildcats do not commit a third quarter turnover. 8 minutes left in this contest, not enough all at 42-all. Final 8, here's Dave Preston.
Thanks very much, sir. Mike Pfeiffer off of the baseline. Here's Kyle Lace. I felt the Cardinals just flat out got out-hustled, whatever you want to call it, in that third quarter of action. Tray by Drew Diener, no. Kyle Lace underneath. Who'd they call the foul on? They'll call the foul on Robley.
Yeah, I question a little bit, Dave, all the three-pointers should we take. I mean, there's no doubt that these guys can shoot the three-point shots. There's some fine shooters in this team. But when you have 12 attempts and 7 out of the 12 are from three-point range, I don't know if that's your best percentage.
No.
Granted, as I mentioned, a lot of it was set up by the fact that here in the third quarter, Hamilton has gone to the zone defense. However, you have got to be able to adjust. You can't rely on the bombs all day long.
Foul this time on Dante Jackson. And that will be their 7th team foul. So Hamilton over the limit. Greg Fyvie is going to go to the line.
Yeah, there's a direct correlation between shooting 54% in the first half of action when you attempt only 3 three-pointers in an entire half, and shooting 33% in the third quarter alone where you attempt 7 three-pointers.
I thought in the first half, Mike, that we took the three-pointer when it was there. I didn't think that we really went out looking for it, and it appeared in the third quarter that we were looking for three-pointers.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know these guys can throw.
Natural, go ahead and throw it up.
Yeah, I know these guys can hit threes, but I don't know. I mean, I don't care if you're a high school player, you're an NBA player. Common sense will tell you the percentage is not there.
Actually, your best three-point shooter tonight's been Derek. And Hamilton being
deliberate.
very deliberate.
Very deliberate.
Here's Serwatka, Trey on the way there, off the rim, no. Skying to get his gains, reverse layup, no. And Kyle Lace clears it. Outlet pass, Derek Diener, 6:45 in regulation. Left side, Drew, Trey on the way here, God! But that was more of a natural Trey there, Mike. Don't you think? And we had rebound people in it.
Yeah. The scenario was there better for that one than some of the earlier ones.
And now, Milwaukee Hamilton wants to take a timeout. Seeing as how we don't have that many spots down there to run anyway, we'll keep it right here, 45-42, the final act Cards with the three-point advantage.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just say we should just, getting back to the birdhouse or the card shack or whatever, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, some of the suggestions to rename the Goodrich Gymnasium. And keep in mind again, this is not an official renaming. This is the Video Sports
Right, this
name.
is what we call it.
But once again, the aviary, see, that's never going to work for us.
What? Yeah, you get. Well, see, that's that's the one we should take then. See,
the Red Bird Arena, the House of Cards, the Diener Dome, the Nest, the Birdhouse, the Bird's Nest, the Card Shack. If you like any of those, got thoughts of your own, send them to Marcus Cable and Care of Video Sports, and we'll see what happens.
Actually, you'd have to send them to Video Sports Care of Marcus Cable.
That would work too.
Yes. Be kind of curious as to.
I have a little fun with that.
Yeah.
Get an unofficial name for the Goodrich Dome.
The Goodrich High School Gymnasium, instead of calling it the Gymnasium. And looking for a give-go feed to Dante Jackson. And he gets by Zimmerman and Lace, but then is the recipient of the foul. They're calling on Kyle Lace, his second. And it will be a two-shot foul, so Dante Jackson is going to go to the free throw line. I guess I don't mean to say that we got out-hustled in the third quarter, Mike, as much as here in the second half of action, we've been out-scrapped.
Well, I think also, out-tempo. If you want to use that phrase, the tempo of the game, which is always so important. I think in the third quarter, I think Hamilton controlled the tempo. They played their style.
Keep in mind that Dick Diener really wanted to up-tempo this game a little bit, and we have an injured Wildcat on the floor. I think he took a pop to the nose here.
Apparently he might have a bit of a bloody nose.
I don't know if he's got a bloody nose as much, Mike, as you know what that can feel like when you can get whacked like that.
Lose your bearings on just about everything.
Yeah. And I don't think we've got a case of a bloody nose. Looks like this is Chris Hansen, I believe.
.604 left in the fourth here. Tight game it has been. Cardinals, they slim 45-43 edge.
But again, you know, you look at Milwaukee Hamilton, and
Sir Watkett is, by the way, that's down.
it is. You're right.
Take another look at it. Let's see if we can pick it up.
Oh yeah, he got
the elbow
laced.
Yeah, very inadvertent.
Yeah, it was not an intentional thing, but he caught a shot to the nose. Well, I tell you, Mike, this has been a good test here tonight for the Final Act Cardinals, because you know, I don't know that you're going to run into a team in the Fox Valley Association that makes up so much with their scrappiness for their lack of, so to speak, lack of talent. This is, you know, there's some nice talent on this Hamilton team. It's not overly talented.
No, they have athletes, Dave. They don't have, in my opinion, not a lot of basketball talent, but good athletes.
Probably three out there. Three, you know, basketball talents. So Watka being one of them, and Dante Jackson another, and I like Hishke. The rest of them, you're right, good athletes.
They're remain in that 1-2-2 zone, and they're really active with it. And
the Cardinals turnover. The basketball away.
Yep.
Well, I tell you, Greg Fyvie with 15 points at halftime and has been held scoreless here in the second half. They've done a number on him. And Fond du Lac has not gotten the ball down to him in the low post at all.
Well, especially since they went to that zone, they have maybe been a little less patient than they should be.
Running one-hander by Chris Hansen. No, Fyvie with a rebound. Outlet pass comes up to Drew Diener. Give it to Derek now, out between the two rings. Here's Drew. Trey shot of the way there, off the back of the rim. No, Hansen rebounds it. Trailing by two, Milwaukee Hamilton. Lead feed up court, all alone is Huff, but he'll lay it in. And they've knotted it up again at 45.
You know, not to beat a dead horse, but 6 of the last 7 shots in this basketball game for Fond du Lac have been three-pointers.
Drew turns it down, now shovels underneath here to Fyvie, and he is fouled by Sir Watka.
See, you've got to do this a little bit. You've got to take it down to the post.
At the same time, you would think that they Kyle Sirwatka, by the way, is third. You would think that, of course, if you hit the fourth, I'm sorry, Sirwatka with his fourth, you would think that if you knock down some of these, Mike, that it's going to open 5E up again. They're really
but they haven't.
You're right.
And 5E misses the front end, and the 2 gets the second.
Greg has not shot free throws well here in the second half. And off of the baseline, Huffman, 12-footer, no. Kyle Lace clears the boards. Outlet pass, Derek Diener. Here come the Cardinals back up on the run. 5E, coffin corner left side to Derek. Sidewalk left, swing between the 2 rings to Drew Diener. Looked it over to Zimmerman. Now they come up high post to 5E, looking for the backdoor feed. Not handled on the baseline, out of bounds. Back to Hamilton. They got a chance to take the lead in the ball game, which I don't believe they have had here all night. In fact, I'm sure of it. Hischke. Here's Chris Hansen into the forecourt. Sirwatka now up between the 2 rings. Cardinals, what, 32 game home court winning streak on the line here tonight. Left side, Hansen over the top of Lace, short for the rim. Rebound, 5E. Huffman has just fouled out of the game.
5E with a good rebound position. Had Hoffman on his backside, and he creates the foul, and he'll be done for evening. 3:50 to go in this contest.
Well, that's going to hurt them, Mike. Huffman and another ball player I kind of like off of this Hamilton team. I think just kind of has to learn to play within himself a little bit. But boy, he can get off the ground for a kid that's 6'2". He's right up there with 5E and the rest of them.
Well, that's what I said. You know, athletes. You know, athletes can be good basketball players. Just because I say they're an athlete, not a true basketball player, doesn't mean that they're not good talents. It's just that they don't have the raw talent that you see with some kids.
5E will go to the free throw line with a 1+1. With 3:50 remaining, drains the first one. Just barely drains the first one. I guess that's really not what you call a drainer, was it?
Well, it tickled the nets.
Yes. Second one, good. That was a drainer. 48-45, by 3 again, the Cardinals. Mike Winters, their starting point guard, back on the court now between the 2 rings, looping feed down low. Here's Dante Jackson. They had a front and back on him, got the shot away, no. Got the rebound, got it a second time and put it in the hole.
Well, the story of this game at this point, Dave, is the Cardinals
been out-scrapped on the offensive board.
The Cardinals' inability to limit them to 1 shot, because they have got second and third shots numerous times tonight.
Drew Diener, Trey, honeycombed out. Rebound, Kyle Lace slapped out of his hand. Here comes Hischke. Hischke on the run, 3-on-3 bust out. Blocking foul, gonna go against the Cardinals, and that is gonna bring the rage of the Cardinal partisan. And called it on Mike Zimmerman. And I got a look at the replay too late. I couldn't tell you. Hamilton on the common foul inbound. 16 foul on the final act cards, by the way.
Cardinals continue to lead by 1 slim point with 3 minutes to go here in the ball game.
Well, and Hamilton, I think, feels they're right where they want to be in this basketball game.
Block.
Baseline, block, 5E! Laced with the rebound. Outlet pass. Up court comes to Mike Zimmerman. Here's Derek Diener trying the way. Front of the rim, short. Rebound, Mike Winters. Winters quickly up into the forecourt, running one-hander, no. Rebound off into the hands of Drew Diener. Mike Winters slow getting back up court. Derek. And the Cardinals now will try to be a little bit more disciplined themselves offensively. Derek to Zimmerman. Drew to the right side. Here's 5E down to the baseline. And I tell you, Jim Jones, right where he wants to be, so that his ball game's got to be in the 40s and 50s where they're in trouble. Derek to Zimmerman. Post up. Kyle Lace. Splits it off, reloads it back out high once again to Mike Zimmerman. 5E out of the corner. Dishes way outside to Derek. Give it to Drew, left side, sidewalk. 150 in regulation play. Down to 5. Running one-hander, fouled over the back by Serwatka. And Serwatka not at all happy with the call.
Good job.
Serwatka, I believe, is fouled out of the game.
Yes, he has. But good job by his teammates to put the muzzle on him. Yep. They certainly don't want a technical at this point. That's his 5th. You know,
he finishes with 13, like 5-y, Mike. He was their leading scorer at halftime.
We've got 1 field goal, Dave, in the
fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter. And the only other points we've got have been when we've gotten off free throws, taking the ball low. I mean, you gotta get in that paint, gentlemen.
Although, you gotta throw some credit the way of Hamilton's defense, Mike. I tell you, we've got the ball into the high post and look to split it down low, and it's been, the passing lanes have been cut off. They've done a good job of that. Have not allowed us down there. 5-y has been the only one who's had any success at all. Yeah. Trying to go down low, and he has been held without a field goal here.
But you got to remember, you know, 5-y has been your actually go-to guy here in the season, early in the season. So you don't abandon what gets you there.
I'm not doing that.
No, I'm saying you're not. That's what I'm just saying in general.
Right. Well, I don't think that totally they have, but he has not been able to put the ball here in the hole in this second half.
But he has been getting to the line a little bit. Yeah.
And right here, Jim Jones will take a timeout. Timeout on the court, 1:40 remaining in regulation play. Fond du Lac with a 50-47 lead. And a reminder for you that on Friday night we'll have high school wrestling action as the Fond du Lac Cardinals will take on the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts. And the replay here on Marcus Cable Channel 13 at 10 p.m. Then on Saturday night, going to look at the Fond du Lac Gals basketball team, most of whom of those players are in attendance at this ball game tonight. At least I see a number of them over there. And they'll be taking on the Terrors of Appleton West on Saturday evening, and we'll have the replay on that one for you beginning at 10 p.m. as well.
And Chuck Schuette's got the girls off to a flying start, playing some excellent basketball.
Well, they got a little scare there last week up in Menasha. Well, you know, you go up to a place like that and come away with a win. Tough ball game on last Friday night. So it's 50-47 in Hamilton with the basketball, 1:33 remaining. Dante Jackson, he's played by Mike Zimmerman. Hansen, here's Hischke. Hischke takes the ball to the lane, up over the top of 5-y, and 5-y made him change his shot. Now who are they going to give it to? Fond du Lac.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dave. 5-y did step in there and got the intimidation factor, and they're forced him to change it and come with the shovel shot, and then they had very little control with it.
Now look for the Cardinals to
work clock here.
Work some clock here with a 3-point lead and 1:13 remaining.
They remain in that zone, Dave. You want to force them to get out of it.
And
follow here.
Mike Winters slaps the hand of Mike Zimmerman, and Zimmy's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, the Cardinals will be shooting 2 from here on out, so they can really afford to be more patient with the basketball. Also, you're going to want to, as I said, force Hamilton out of that zone defense.
Kevin Martin up off the Pines to come back in. I wonder right here, and you see Jim Jones now, Mike, maybe trading offense for defense here. Winters is out. Martin and Kevin Gaines both back into the basketball game, and Hansen came out, and Zimmy knocks down the first one. Boy, these are important here. Yeah. You can't trade the 1-for-2 stuff.
Boy, that thing didn't want to go down. Was in, just laid on the top of the front of the rim, and second time around, it misses it.
He misses this one, but 5-y out of there with a rebound. Basketball up into the crowd. What's the call?
Fond du Lac's the ball, I believe, Dave.
Boy, if they didn't call a foul on that, Mike, the Cardinals got a break.
They're saying it was knocked out of his hands.
Well, his hand was held is what happened, and now they will call the foul on Sean Roby.
And 5 now will be going to the line to shoot a pair. 1:03 left.
5E has hit on 5 of 9 here in the second half of action. Overall, he is 8 for 12. He'll get a pair here. Missed the front half. 51-47. An eternity on the clock. 1:03 remaining. And up off the pines now is.
Yep.
They're going to hold him out? Okay.
Yep. And
they already had the ball.
Yep. Wasn't at the bench early enough.
Now, maybe a surprising move here, unless Jimmy Boyd is another three-point shooter for them. 5 missed them both. And Lace grabs a rebound, then has it stripped away by Sean Roby. Here comes Hamilton into the forecourt. Baseline, double clutch here by Martin. Good, the foul on Lace.
Wow.
Tough shot by Kevin Martin.
Dave, unofficially, in the second half, I have Hamilton for no turnovers.
And Martin will go to the free throw line.
And a chance to draw them back to within one again. Wow.
And again, here you see Jim Jones trading a couple of guys offense for defense. Martin can't hit it does hit the free throw. I thought it was out of there.
What?
Right back to within 1:54 seconds remaining. Pressure applied in the backcourt.
Well, they have gone back to match up man-to-man now.
Drew comes to Kyle Lace, to Drew Diener. Give it to Derek. They try to double up on him. Give it to Kyle Lace down to the baseline. Looks to bring it back out and does. 37 ticks on the clock. Here's Derek Diener. Derek is played by Kevin Gaines. Swing it off here now to Zimmerman, and the foul is going to be on Kevin Gaines.
Cardinals, good job of taking care of the basketball here. They spread the floor.
So Jimmy Boyd now comes out.
Hinchke back in.
And Hinchke back in, and obviously for shooting purposes. Hinchke, the three-point shooter. Zimmerman knocks down one.
Yeah, you need this second one also. Huge at this point.
Well, it would take away any possibility of them taking a lead on you, barring a three-point shot with a foul. Roby comes back out, and Chris Hansen back in. So they put, I guess, their shooters now into the basketball game. Zimmy knocks them both down. And now Hamilton will take another. Final act took the timeout. Okay. Dick Diener taking a timeout here. Remaining in regulation play of this basketball game. It's 53-50, and Hamilton will have the ball. Now, if you're Fond du Lac, Mike, or do you lay back and play your half-court defense, or are you going to come down all the way with them here?
No, I think you're going to lay back. I don't think you're going to forward. You might just go token at the best. Too much time yet to try to.
You're absolutely right. A little token pressure.
The key here is, guys, concentrate on those offensive boards. Turn around and get a body on somebody.
Hinchke
got it
behind, but he got the bucket and the foul.
Wow.
And a chance to tie this basketball game with 18 seconds remaining. Derek Diener with a foul.
Second time in a row down court where they were able to get the foul and the bucket. Well, 18 seconds left here. If he does make it, the Cardinals will have last look at things here.
Are we heading for an OT? Possibly.
As you said, the 32-game home streak on the line right now, and it's right on the line.
Hinchke connects. We're knotted up.
And
18 seconds to go, and now Hamilton wants timeout. Well,
it's like you say, you know, you just allow them to lay around and stay there close enough. And this is kind of what happens. But give a lot of credit to Hamilton. They're a nice, scrappy team. They play extremely hard.
Yep. They aren't the best, certainly not the refined team, you know, the best or the most refined team that we've seen on the court here at Goodrich High School or the state or for that matter anywhere. But boy, oh boy, I tell you, they just, Jim Jones has got them doing a lot of things that would make up for their lack of refinement.
Well, and I tell you, you know, he wants to change the philosophy. We talked about that. Jim Jones wants to go down there and make them a more disciplined team. He's doing that.
I'd say he's certainly right on top of that.
The results he's getting right now with a win over Xavier and threatening to take a win from the Cardinals, that's going to make believers out of his kids. You know, it'll be interesting to watch how they frustrate teams in that Milwaukee conference this year, the city conference.
He also has a win over West Bend East, who has a fine team this year.
Well, now you're going to see him going back to the zone defense, Dave, back to a 1-2-2, where the Cardinals have kind of stumbled, quite frankly, have not been able to get the ball inside.
Well, the Cardinals will play for one shot. Zimmerman, Derek Diener.
6.
Derek off to Drew, down to 5. You got the clock in the corner. Here's Lace running one-hander, no. Tap once, no. Throwing up at the end of the regulation, no good, and we're headed for overtime. At the end of regulation play, it's Fond du Lac 53, Hamilton 53, back after this.
Field goal successful. That was a three-pointer very early in the quarter. The one and only field goal of the quarter.
Well, we'll get our second jump ball of the game. And the Cardinals still moving from right to left. Hamilton, remember, has lost a couple of key people. And to come down the stretch and be able to come back and tie up the Cardinals and send this game into overtime, you got to give them an awful lot of credit with two pretty key players, Sirwatka and Huffman, to the Pines for fouling out of the game. And what do we have there?
Jumper got the ball. Can't control the ball off the jump.
I missed it. I was looking down. Roby?
Roby, yeah.
So Fond du Lac with the basketball, and they will be extremely patient. Zimmerman, Derek Diener, Zimmy, turned down the shot. Derek looked down on the back door, has Schrum down there, didn't go to him.
And this is, I don't know if you mentioned, Dave, a 4-minute overtime.
I didn't mention.
They changed it from 3 to 4 last year, right?
Here's Derek Diener. As we said, 32-game home winning streak on the line here for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Mike Zimmerman. Zimmy, they get a double up on him. Now dribbles out of trouble. Nice. Back door here to Schrum, and he is undercut and fouled. I believe it's going to go on Jackson.
Good job of creating by Zim. Got the double team, and then he knew what to do. That's you take it to the basket, because obviously if you got 2 on you, somebody's open. He found Schrum coming from the left side, and he's going to get a pair of free throws.
Well, they're going to call the foul on Jimmy Heskey, his 3rd personal.
Cardinals much more patient than they were earlier in the 4th quarter.
Schrum will go to the free throw line, and he'll shoot a pair. Now, Roby comes out of the basketball game. Chris Hansen back in. And again, they trade offense for defense. Schrum gets the first. And he'll see one more. Fond du Lac takes a slim lead back. They're up by 2. 55-53 with 3:18 here in the OT. Gaines to Hansen. Heskey round to the left side, had a pick there, didn't use it. Reloaded now to Kevin Gaines, very near the 10-second line. I thought for a moment there he was going to back right over it. Didn't it look like that?
Yeah, they've played with that. I've noticed it earlier in the game a few times.
Played with it a little bit?
Yep.
Got to pick up high. Here's Gaines coming in the lane. Blocking foul they're going to call.
Oh, my. I don't know about that one. Bob, if we get another peek at that, I just don't know. Take another peek.
Greg Fivey.
I don't see it that way.
He leaves his feet, and that one big key right there. And I don't see any movement from either one of the 2 defenders. But Gaines will go to the free throw line. Missed the front half. Well, that was big. Now the best he can do is draw you to within one, or draw them to within one. Kevin Gaines. Missed the ball. And 5, he goes up and clears it. And here comes Derek Diener now walking it up. Really too early to work clock. I don't know with these new 4-minute overtimes, Mike, how the heck you approach it sometimes. Used to be you got the ball and worked for one shot, right?
That's exactly why they went to 4 minutes.
I realize that. Here's Schrum off of the baseline shot blocked by Dante Jackson. Schrum got the rebound. 3-second violation. Schrum had the rebound but had nowhere to go.
Well, they didn't get it, but I like the ball movement down low. You got a pretty good percentage shot. It didn't go, some good defense, but you're getting a lot more movement on the offense than you were earlier.
So the Cardinals will bring it back up once again. Got Drew Diener on the pines right now. Dante Jackson out between the two rings, 2:04. In the OT, Hansen outside Trey, airballed it back to the Cardinals.
1:58 left in the OT.
And Derek Diener will walk it across the timeline. Hamilton, no token pressure to force him to move at all, so he took as much time off the clock as he could. High post lace, split it down off the back door to Schrum. Swing it back around again, 5-y. Derek Diener, circle high to the right side, double up on him, high post 5-y. Splits it off left side to Mike Zimmerman. Now on the give-go, 5-y out of the coffin corner, reload once again. Now 1:27 remaining. Now the Cards may work some clock. They have been already.
Yeah, they're doing a good job with it. Got the floor spread, they're getting a little rotation off it.
Derek Diener, Zimmerman.
There it is.
Lace, down the baseline, Strip, good!
Sometimes this can be a simple game, huh?
Yep. See the clock in the upper left-hand corner. Dante Jackson dishes for Hansen. Had to change his shot. Again, it was 5-y up there. Ball slapped around on the floor, jump ball. And who has the possession? I believe it's going to be Hamilton. No, wait a minute.
No, Fonlak got it off the drop and shipped it, go to Hamilton.
You're right, Hamilton will get the ball because of the violation that they had on the jump in the overtime. Now, Mike Kamasa, a junior, has come into the basketball game with 58 seconds remaining. The only thing I'd say about that, Mike, kind of a strange time. He hasn't seen the court at all tonight except to warm up. But comes into the ball game with 55 seconds to go. Off of the baseline, Dante Jackson can't hit the shot. Rebound tapped into the hands of Derek Diener. 57, 53 by 4 the Cardinals. Schrum bumped and banged, nothing called, now they will.
Yeah, this is gonna go,
I gotta look.
Hiskey. And I think, is that his fifth?
I got him for 4.
4, okay.
They really didn't have anybody else in deep foul trouble. This is Hiskey's 4th. And Schrum to the free throw line, 2 for 2 so far. He'll shoot a pair here.
Oh, that's good.
That might be why Mr. Schrum has been in the basketball game here in the overtime, Mike, because I don't know, is he maybe the best free throw shooter on this squad? That's a possibility.
That I wouldn't know, but he's not only that, but he's doing a good job of taking care of the basketball also. I think that's key in making sure you've got people in there that can handle the ball. You had to do that, didn't you? Number one, and secondly, that can put the ball down through the hoop on a free throw.
Hiskey quickly up into the forecourt. They got to look, they probably need a tray here somewhere along the line. Hiskey looking for some help. And
traveled, yep. Yes, sir, a turnover there.
Traveling violation called on Jimmy Boyd.
And as I mentioned earlier, Dave, it's unofficial, but that's the first turnover I have for them in the entire second half.
So actually, then in regulation play in the second half, of course, no turnovers. Had the TO in the overtime, and Hiskey now has fouled out.
Cardinals looking in pretty good shape now with a 5-point edge, a chance to make it 7, which would ice it.
And the Hamilton coaching staff, Mike, not happy with a couple of people. 25 seconds to go on the scoreboard, and what they're upset about is that Kischke was the one who had to take the initiative and go out and take the foul. They were kind of all over the top of Sean Robley, who was in. Well, he only had 2 fouls. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, those are the guys that have to go out and grab
take the foul.
Yep.
I think that was one of the reasons why Mike Kamasa had come into the basketball game, because they were in a position where he could take fouls. But now you're going to send Kyle Lace to the free throw line, 0 for 2 thus far. They have now lost 3 players to fouling out in this ball game. Kischke, Huffman, and Sirwatka.
Well, Lace gets one out of the 2, makes it a full two possession game.
And they'd have to have 3-pointers on both.
Right.
And they're not looking for him either. Dante Jackson off of the baseline. Whoa. Lace and Fivey both going after the rebound, and down hard to the court went Derek Diener, then pops right back up again. He's all right.
Cardinal defense has been real good here in the overtime. They have done an excellent job.
Come into Jimmy Boyd. And Martin out of the coffin corner. Here's Boyd. Comes towards the hole. Running one-hander is good. And
they take a timeout.
They get a quick timeout, but it's
academic.
Now. Yep. Now it's all academic.
And right now, their coach says, I don't even want it.
Just saying, go back out.
Let's go out and just finish it off.
I think that they were probably instructed, Mike, to take the timeout if you got a bucket, and they took the coach's instructions to heart, did take the timeout, not realizing that there was that little time left.
I tell you, I like Jim Jones.
Yeah.
I like what he's done.
Classy coach, Mike. Done a nice job. And the Cardinals preserve their home court winning streak. But I tell you, they had to go something to do it here tonight against a very scrappy, very gamey Milwaukee Hamilton team. Final score tonight, the Fond du Lac Cardinals 59, Milwaukee Hamilton 55. Mike and I'll be back to wrap it up for you right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report.
Fond du Lac Bumper Exchange invites all truck lovers to check out their vast supply of DZ products. Get your truck ready now for this hunting season.
And the Gymnasium, the final score this evening in overtime, the Fond du Lac Cardinals 59, Milwaukee Hamilton 55, against a very, very scrappy Milwaukee Hamilton team. Mike, may not be the most talented team you're going to see in the state of Wisconsin, but they sure gave us fits tonight, and somehow or another the Cardinals come out of here with their home court winning streak intact.
Well, I'll give a lot of credit, I think, to head coach Jim Jones of Milwaukee Hamilton. He did what he had to do to keep his team in this basketball game. Changed defenses a number of times, tried some different looks, went to that zone defense in the second half, and quite frankly, that's what really turned this game around. Because I think the Cardinals kind of played into that defense in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. They started throwing up nothing but the threes. In the fourth quarter before the overtime, I think they attempted, I believe, 5 shots, all of them three-pointers. They weren't going down. I think adjustments were made in the overtime as you saw the Cardinals look inside more, looking for the rotation down low, some quick passing, good rotation there, and did not attempt a three-point shot in the overtime at all. So I think Dick Diener realized that that wasn't getting the job done, adjustments made, and I guess that's a sign of a good coach also. You can make that adjustment on the fly and make your offense look for some different things.
I don't know if on the official stats, if they wind up rebounding us tonight or not. We'll check
even matter of fact, 30-30.
But boy, I tell you, on the offensive boards, they kind of did a number on us.
Well, that was where they stayed in this game, especially in the first half of action. On numerous occasions, got that second and sometimes third and fourth shot up there. Anytime you allow a team to do that, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to have to really scrape down the stretch. It's exactly what the Cardinals had to do. I think this is going to be a good learning game in a lot of areas for the Cardinals. I think that's one thing. They're going to learn that they have to box out better on the offensive glass. They can, or their defensive glass, not allowing to give that second and third shot. And also, they're going to have to allow that they can't rely on just that three-point shot. They have to mix it up a little bit. Now, granted, they have some fine three-pointers, but I don't know that you can live with the three-pointer alone. On the other side of the court, I thought they played some good defense in this basketball game from time to time, especially down the stretch in this overtime. Their man-to-man was outstanding, really denied them, gave them only but one bucket, and that was with 2 seconds left. Game was over at that point.
59-55 the final score. Let's take a final look at the statistics as we have them here on tonight's game.
Okay, Dave, the Fond du Lac Cardinals will end up 42% in the basketball game on 19 for 45 shooting. Hamilton, meanwhile, 20 for 57 for 35%. Free throws, a lot of them shot tonight. Fond du Lac not where they want to be in that area after this basketball game. 16 for 29 after shooting extremely well first time at the gymnasium a week ago. Now only 55%. Hamilton 12 for 15, doing a great job, 80% on the charity stripe. Rebounds, well, that was a wash, 30 apiece. But again, Hamilton's, some of those key rebounds happened on their offensive glass. Turnovers, 12 for the Fond du Lac Cardinals, and Milwaukee Hamilton finishes with 10. Taking a look at the scoring leaders for tonight's basketball game, the Cardinals are led by Fivey, 20 points in this basketball game, but had the majority of that very early, 14, 15 points in the first quarter of action, I do believe it was. Struggled somewhat down the stretch, but again, they really didn't work the ball inside that much, so you can't really blame Greg for all of that. But however, it does kind of another fine game. 20 points, Drew Diener with 15 points, Derek Diener with 10 to lead the Cards. Hamilton led by Serwatka with 13 points, and Hiskey with 12.
So the Cardinals come away with a win. They preserved their home court winning streak here at the Goodrich High School Aviary, the Bird's Nest, the Redbird Inn, whatever we're going to